Welcome to Venture Forward, featured campsite episode number 2. This week I have 5 more awesome campsites to share with you guys. And each one of these campsite segments that I'm about to share with you correspond with a campsite page on the website, venture4wd.com. And as I mentioned last week, I'm building out the website to serve as a sort of travel guide for backcountry exploration. Let's start with number 1, which is located in the high desert of western Arizona along a remote and beautiful stretch of Route 93. I was driving southbound on Route 93 like I had planned, but I got distracted by an interesting looking BLM road. So here I am. It's an addiction, exploring. Whoa, wash. That was a 12-mile round trip to nowhere and back. And that's okay. It was a great trail, and you never know what's out in the desert until you go look for yourself. Sometimes it's nothing. But it did deliver this really nice campsite that's about a mile off of Highway 93, surrounded by beautiful desert landscape, a lot of wildlife. There's a couple fire rings, so I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. For this next campsite, Shannon and I were working our way south through western Nevada when we passed through Toyabe National Forest. The forest road wound its way through a desert canyon, and right before a stream crossing where the vegetation got too dense for the van, there was a lovely clear area where we decided to spend the night. Fire pit? Fire ring?
Yeah, I mean...
I've never seen one that looks sort of like a chimenea or a cairn.
Me neither. We thought it was a big cairn from that side.
Yeah.
Shell of some sort. Pocket knife.
Pocket knife. Charred.
Charred, all charred. It's interesting though.
Yeah. Should we start a fire? Should I start a fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's put a fire in this thing.
All right.
Is that the right movie? It's not as cool when it's my head.
I know. It's like a unicorn. Sorry.
It's okay.
Let's see if this works again.
Chris, what you doing?
Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes. Making coffee.
Thank you. And
Wow, hey, Siri was able to start the timer without being connected to the internet.
That's so weird.
Huge.
That is
I've been
huge.
waiting for that feature for years. Alright.
What do you do when you're in the backwoods before, or when Siri wasn't working?
I'd have to use my fingers.
Oh, the humanity.
Shannon is off work this week for the Thanksgiving holiday, so we're taking the van, our Winnebago Revel, southbound through western Nevada, close to the California border. Right now, we're at a really cool dispersed campsite that we found along a gentle four-wheel drive road in Toyabe National Forest. It's a wonderfully peaceful and secluded spot with a couple of fire rings, as you saw last night, and it's also next to a small stream. The forest road beyond the campsite featured some shallow stream crossings, and we would have liked to have explored further in the van, but at that point the vegetation became too dense for such a large vehicle. Nevertheless, this desert canyon was a great find, and a wonderful place to spend the night in the van. It was a little bit chilly this morning. The dashboard on the van said 28 degrees Fahrenheit, but now that the sun is out, things are thawing nicely. From here, we're going to keep working our way south through Nevada, do some exploring along the way, and seek out some warmer temps. The Arizona Peace Trail is a long backcountry loop in southwestern Arizona that's very popular for four-wheel drive and motorized adventure. While there are plenty of nice dispersed campsites throughout the length of the circuit, this is a wonderful and spacious spot on the western side of the loop that was very quiet and would be really suitable for a group. Not to mention the surrounding desertscape is absolutely beautiful. think I'm just gonna have to suffer the wind for the night. That's still warm. Campbell's Chunky. Soup that eats like a meal. Perfect. That is exactly what I want. It's Wednesday morning, February 26, 2020. My original plan for this morning was to pack up and continue heading south on the Arizona Peace Trail toward Yuma. But it's a beautiful day, the wind is down a little bit, and I'm particularly interested in seeing what's over there in that canyon. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go for a little hike and do some exploring on foot. This is awesome. I'm in the basin of a waterfall, which is obviously very dry right now, but you can see the marking of the water line, which is probably, I don't know, 4.5 feet, close to 5 feet. I'm following a well-trodden path through a lush valley. I don't think it's a human footpath. I see hoof prints, and I know there are donkeys back here. I heard them last night. It's either donkeys or Tuscan Raiders. Probably the former. This is a small cairn, so maybe this is a human path after all. Okay, too much cheese in that one. That just made a royal mess. Still delicious though, I'm sure. This is still hot from who knows when, probably this past weekend. There are hot coals down here. Colorado. It doesn't matter where you are in Colorado, follow a forest road up into the higher elevations and you will encounter amazing scenery and historical structures. This basin near the Collegiate peaks offered sweeping vistas, a spacious camping area, and hiking opportunities all around. Interesting ruins of an old mining camp. Just a glimpse into history. Kind of makes you wonder what traces of our lives will be left in 100 years from now. Pizza on the grill today for dinner or lunch or whatever this meal is. It's just a plain pizza with ragu pizza sauce, shredded cheese, and I put on a little extra garlic and oregano. I stopped for camp early today in this clearing in this picturesque mountain basin. Although the weather's on and off. Dark clouds are passing through and the wind is up, but otherwise this is phenomenal. This spot is a little bit higher traffic than the spot that I camped at last night. Just a quarter mile further down the track is a trailhead for another 14er, and also the Continental Divide Trail passes through here. So there are a lot of hikers and other vehicles camping, but this spot was available and I couldn't pass it up. Look at that. Perfect. I'd say we are ready. Maybe too much oregano, but not too much garlic. You can never put on too much garlic. This next segment is from one of the very first videos that I've ever made, so I apologize if it's a little bit rough around the edges. It was back in 2017 and I was exploring Kaibab National Forest near the north rim of the Grand Canyon. Both Arizona and New Mexico, if you're from the Northeast, you form this stereotypical image of these two states, and when you actually travel in them, you realize how varied and how diverse they are. There's so much green here. Kaibab National Forest, around North Rim, right north of the Grand Canyon, is absolutely stunning. It's lush with the greenery, the trees. There is a labyrinth of two tracks all over the place. You can really get lost here. I think that a lot of people focus on just the vistas, which are over there to the west, overlooking the Grand Canyon. And they're fantastic, but it causes people to miss everything that's like right here. So it's definitely worth exploration. I'm out for a hike in Kaibab National Forest near North Rim. And on my topo map I saw this water feature, so I hiked about 2 miles from camp to find it, and this time it paid off. That's really beautiful. My campsite for the night. It's windy and the flies are kind of bad. Got some orange juice. Making myself a grilled cheese. I was just over here hammocking in the trees and I saw something in the woods. A structure or something. Bit of an Evil Dead vibe, but whatever I find, at least it's good content. Well, not quite as exciting as I was expecting. I'm in Grand Canyon National Park, right on the border of Kaibab National Forest. Kaibab, not sure how you pronounce it, but it's Monday morning and I'm gonna check out one last overlook before I head on out. That segment, a little bit rough around the edges, but it really takes me back. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't expect or know that I'd be focusing on YouTube for the next 6 years. A lot has happened since that recording on the North Rim, and I have you to thank for it. So this thing that I'm doing now with the featured campsites isn't the new format. I'm not changing things up, but it is a new format that enables me to focus on expanding Venture Forward in other ways. If you're curious about what I'm doing and what my plans are, I write a personal blog post on Patreon every week where I basically tell everyone what's going on. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next week.